Hello, welcome to Off Grid Thoughts channel. In this video, this is going to be about a 2015 Honda Civic LX 1.8 liter USA version. And I'm just going to be kind of showing you a battery conversion that I did. Plus, I'll show you a little bit different setup on my alternator connection. I'll start with the alternator. You've got your wiring harness with your cable that connects to your positive post. But what I've done is I've rerouted it to where it's kind of tucked down to the corner and comes back up with a 2 gauge cable and connects to the battery post. And I sanded down the plastic housing so I could fit a regular lug connector onto that charging post. And I also had installed a new computer connector. So, and this one is to your AC compressor. But the reason behind that is because this goes through the valve cover. And I do this on most of my vehicles that I own. I've always done that. What that does is it helps to maintain the amp rating of the wire. So in this case, I've enlarged the wire, so it'll go more years without heat affecting it. It keeps your charging and your electrical healthier. So I'll move on to the next item. So I really wanted to show a YouTube friend this, and I wanted to show people kind of, if you're thinking about doing something like this. It is time consuming. I had been doing significant repairs on this vehicle, on the engine and different things. And this was just kind of one of the items I was doing. So my vehicle was, it was out of action for a while by choice. I just wanted to kind of go through it. And so I'll start by showing you what I've done. Now this battery is an AGM 680 cold cranking amp battery. It's significantly larger than the stock Group 51R battery. To show you the difference, this is a pretty small battery. And I wanted to be able to, go on my road trips, whether it was in cold or hot weather, without, thinking about, am I going to have a problem with that small battery because it's only 475 cold cranking amps. And I really didn't want to fit like a one of those, small batteries like that, even if it was an AGM. So I spent some significant time installing a different battery bracket. Had to modify a significant amount of things to make this work, but I'll start by showing you. The battery bolt here is in the factory location. The one in the back here is been modified though. I've got a framing bracket that I attached to the bottom of the frame bracket for the battery tray. I just took a 90-degree framing bracket, like for construction, drilled a hole through it so the J hook could go through it. But again, if you don't have time to do something like this, you need your vehicle. I don't recommend it because it is time consuming. Now the posts here, they kind of go down in the corners on this particular type battery. This is an H5 series Group 47 battery. Same thing over here. So what I've done is I've taken a 1-inch 1/8 piece of stainless flat bar and attached here with a stainless steel thin lock nut. This is a GM side post zinc battery terminal. This is the positive side. This is the negative side. But you know, when you buy the GM side post, it's made out of zinc. It's not the lead version. The negative is a little bit smaller than the positive. In this case, the negative was a little bit too small for this Honda clamp. So I used the positive, which was slightly too large, but I sanded it down a little bit until it fit really well. So that's kind of a heads up if you do this modification. But I mean, it's a barely fit thing. This barely clears, not hardly any space. There's a little spot where the transmission, I had to direct my little bracket down there to the right a little bit to clear the transmission. So, because there's a little corner where the metal kind of sticks up, but it clears now. Initially had to adjust that a little bit. But how I made this work mostly was the battery tray, I made it fit more towards this direction. So I was able to reclaim a significant amount of space over here to keep it away from all of this area. So further away from the engine too. But you always want to install a battery blanket of some type. I made this one out of an automotive sunshade, like for your inside of your windshield. And I wrapped it with stainless aluminum, or not aluminum, but stainless steel foil tape. It's also wrapped on the bottom with the same thing. But underneath the battery tray, I also installed a piece of steel sheet. So it makes the plastic battery tray more rigid. Plus, it blocks any airflow underneath the battery, any holes or anything or openings. So that protects it from heat and cold as well. But this is it's a tight fit, and you have your here's a bracket that bolts down here to the bottom of your air box bracket. It comes up here and it holds this wiring. Now I've spun it around because it was originally it's kind of more in this direction, so the loom is kind of real close to the original battery, which is kind of sits farther forward. And by doing it this way, spinning around, your wiring is closer to the air box and it's kind of out of the way of the battery. So that was a pretty simple thing to do, but you know, you'll need to make your own battery hold down. This is just a plate of flat steel here. I put a little bit longer hold down bolts just to give me more room, and when I install and remove the battery to remove it. Always helps to have a little bit more threads to work with. But again, it's a time consuming modification. I think it was worth it, but yeah, the computer, because the original stock 51R battery, the rested voltage is about 12.2 volts, which Honda says is normal. This is just your regular automotive type battery that's with a rested voltage of 12.7 volts. So the computer does accept it. There's no issues with it. Starts up very well. It's electrically healthy, very electrically healthy. So I just wanted to show everybody this and my YouTube friend this. So it's but it's I mean it's a significant undertaking to do this. So make sure you have the time to do it if you want to do something like this. But all right, thanks a lot for watching. I hope that was interesting, and have a good day.